Hey everyone, it's Lisa Walker from Melbourne, Australia. I just wanted to jump on here today to talk about, there's a lot of talk going around online and in the industry about, should you still be prospecting if you're in business, like if you do digital marketing, if you do coaching consulting, if you do network marketing, internet marketing, like all sorts of things where you normally keep prospect online. Should you still be doing that right now? There's a lot of talk about people not having money. We could be going into recession. A lot of people have lost their jobs, that type of thing. People scared about spending money right now. I was actually listening to a podcast from Ray Higdon this morning, and he's actually a network marketing coach, and he was talking about this, which really it sparked me the idea to come on and talk about it too, because his story resonated with me because his story was almost identical to my story. And so I wanted to get on here and talk about that because there's a lot of people out there that do need a lot of help right now. And there's a lot of businesses that are scrambling right now trying to figure out how they can continue to run their businesses online now or virtually now that they can't, they haven't got their physical address or brick and mortar or, they've had to close down their offline business. And so a lot of people are scrambling, like, how do we do this social media thing? How do we connect with people? How do we still get sales? Like, how do we still connect with our customers? Can we take some of our training online and do virtual workshops, things like that? But of course, some of these business owners that have never learned a lot about online marketing, in the digital world, suddenly find themselves scrambling because they don't know what to do. They don't even know a lot of the platforms to use or anything. And so this is a really good opportunity for people like us that have been learning the digital marketing industry, or the coaching industry, virtually or online, having, group coaching programs, anything where we do in the online space. This is a really good opportunity for us right now because, and it's not to be capitalizing, but it's to actually be out there, actually giving people a hand and helping. And I'm not saying do that for free, obviously, but don't look at it as that you're capitalizing on what's happening right now, because people genuinely do need help. And people like us have been learning this skill for a long time, some of us years. And we also can't, give away that for free either, but we can definitely still charge for our services, even if we, give a discount or whatever, or if you want to go full price, depends. Like, I've still heard that many high-ticket coaches are still closing high-ticket products at the moment. So people are still spending out in the industry, and there is opportunity to lend a helping hand to people that really need to understand this whole online thing, So back, and the reason now, jumping back, the reason what sparked this conversation basically was back in 2008 in the last recession, is where me and my ex-husband lost everything. And we literally lost everything, right from all of our businesses to our houses to everything apart from some furniture basically. And that's when we ended up moving to Australia. We packed up all that we had left, which was two 40-foot containers. And we put everything that we owned, that we collected for like 30 years into containers, and we brought them to Australia. And that was it. That's all we had. And we came over here and we had about over $100,000 worth of debt. That's all we had to our name, $100,000 worth of debt. We didn't even have any money. We had my ex-husband had a job, so he had an income, but it was considerably a lot less than what we were used to living on. But we had no choice. We just had to keep on going and trying to find a better way, right? And so in all of that chaos and stress of losing everything that we had worked hard for, I found myself trying to find ways that we could either save everything before we lost it or try to recoup what we had lost. And so that actually led me into the network marketing industry. And that's what started my journey to come on to this whole digital marketing space. Was I got started in network marketing. And I give a shout out to a really good friend of mine, Sue Phillips, who is actually my business coach in UC. She actually approached my daughter about her network marketing opportunity. And at the time, I was really, really skeptical, and we were busy running 3 other companies at the time. And I sort of said, oh, no, don't get it, don't fall for that stuff, blah, blah, blah. I was really closed-minded at the time. And anyway, so she decided to go along to a meeting, and I said, she said, well, can you at least just come along to have a look, just to support me? So I decided to go along, and then I listened to the presentation. And then at the end of the presentation, I said, I don't know about you, but I'm going to be doing this. And I literally got out my credit card and spent $2,500 that night. Joining this network marketing opportunity, and I absolutely loved it. I had many years with the company, and I really, really loved it. Met so many amazing people. I really loved the whole community. I loved the whole industry. This is when I very first got introduced to personal development industry, which, you know, a lot of entrepreneurs get introduced to the personal development industry, but unfortunately, a lot of employees, you know, people that just decide to have a job most of their life, a lot of them don't get introduced to the personal development industry, so they don't know a lot about, you know, a lot of this stuff. And this really helps us now too, because like with what's going on in the world, having a really good mindset is so important right now. And so I feel so lucky that I have been involved in this industry, that I have been involved in personal development, that I do surround myself with positive, uplifting people. Because if I didn't, I could be really depressed right now about what's happening in the world too, you know. But I feel like, you know, maybe I seem like I'm overly optimistic, and maybe I am. Maybe, you know, I feel like I'm just in denial. But really, because I surround myself with these positive people, it's hard to be feeling doom and gloom right now. It really is, because I'm always hopeful about you know, things in the future, and about coming out of this and still, you know, building really successful businesses. And because I've been successful in business before, I know that it's possible. You know, my ex-husband and I were making really good money. Like, we were making over $500,000 a year in profit. Like, we lived really well at that time. And so when you've had that taste of making money before, and you can see how you can grow a business, it's very easy to know that you can do it again. So it's hard to kind of be negative about that. You know what I mean? So what I'm saying is basically, like, there's a lot of network marketers right now as well out there that can't even go and walk the streets or go out and about trying to find people to connect with, which how a lot of the companies teach, right? And some companies are getting on board now with social media, but there are still some that aren't, you know, or some people that aren't, you know, that are kind of techie challenged, you know, and they're trying to figure out now, how are they going to connect with people? How are they going to talk to people, right? So they need to come online. They need to adapt and change to social media. And like, basically the moral of the story is, if Sue Phillips hadn't come to my daughter, which eventually led me to join New Skin, to get me into this amazing industry, which led me on to online marketing, digital marketing, consulting, and becoming a VA, and leaving my job 3 years ago and be able to support myself full-time as a single mum, and then now getting into coaching, I wouldn't have known about any of this industry or known about any of it if it wasn't for her, you know, approaching my daughter in a recession, you know. So I mean, like, you have to still reach out to people, because people still need help. And there are people out there that have lost everything too, you know, that are maybe just have lost everything even before this all happened, and they're looking for a way out, that are looking for help, that are looking for a solution. And if you are the person that's got that solution to offer somebody, you know, it's kind of selfishness not to be out there, putting yourself out there, you know, letting them know about you. You know what I mean? Because those people are suffering, and you don't want to be, you know, their best kept secret, you know. So I implore you to go out and still, you know, let the world know what you do, and that you can actually help them, you know. So basically what happened is, a couple of weeks ago, I got locked out of my main Facebook account, and I could have let that become a big challenge for me. Like, it was depressing. I've got several business pages. I've got Facebook groups that I'm running. I've got 800 people in one group. I've got 46,000 people in another group. That's an overseas group. Like, I'm completely locked out. I can't even get in. The Facebook keep glitching when I keep trying to recover my account and trying to get a verification code. The screen just freezes, whether I do it on any computer, phone, whatever. You can't even contact Facebook. You can't call them. I've emailed them. There's no reply. Like, it's literally a nightmare to try to contact Facebook. It really is. And I've even cried about it, because I've spent years and years of building this Facebook page and spending money even on ads to build pages. And I could let that really, like, stop me from doing everything that I'm doing because I'm so down about it, right? But I haven't. For the first week, I didn't do anything. I thought, what am I going to do? I need to get back into this page, blah, blah, blah. And then eventually I made another account just so that I could keep up with what's going on in the world. And also because they're help and support, you have to actually log in before you can talk to anybody. And if you're logged out, you're locked out. If your account, you can't even talk to anyone. Like, it's ridiculous, right? So I had to make another account. And in that time also, it forced me to do some other things that I wasn't used to doing. So I started going on LinkedIn, I started going on Twitter, and I never usually use those platforms. And you know what? I have really, really enjoyed using those platforms. I have really, really enjoyed using LinkedIn and connecting with people over there. And I've made lots of connections. And I've just been working on it consistently every day and connecting with people and having lots of conversations. And I've really enjoyed it. So sometimes something, it takes something to happen to you in your life or in your business to force you to change or to do something different, and now, it's been working really well for me. I'm talking to a lot more people, having way more conversations, and it's actually got me out of my comfort zone too, of not being able to use Facebook for a while. So it's just all about trying new things. It really is. And, at the moment, there's a lot of people working really hard online, putting themselves out there, doing more Facebook Lives, doing more challenges. And you can get in some challenge groups. And I've just joined one too at the moment called Movement Makers. And it's even the stuff that this guy's teaching might be stuff that I already know. It could be. But it doesn't matter. It's not about that. It's about being part of a community. It's about being part of a group, a movement, people to support you right now with what's going on. So join some challenges because there's heaps around, and it gives you people to connect with, people to support each other. It gives you accountability, especially when you're working from home, So if you're the type of person that does know about social media and you do know about how to run, groups or virtual workshops, you need to put yourself out there to help some of these business owners that just have not, don't have a clue what to do right now. And also the other thing is, don't listen to too much news, obviously we have to know what's going on. Obviously we have to be informed. I actually downloaded a really good app this morning that my sister told me about, called the Covid-19 tracker. And that's actually really good. It tells you how many cases and what cities and countries, how many deaths. And, obviously it's frightening, to keep up with all of this stuff. But at the same time, we need to be aware of what's happening. But you also have to remember that the media companies are also businesses for profit too. So they love all this stuff because they're making money, right? The more we watch and listen to the stuff. So what I'm saying is, surround yourself with positive people that are uplifting. Don't listen to too much negative. Surround yourself with the positivity, and also practice gratitude every day. And start saying some affirmations as well. And that keeps you in a really positive, mindset. Like for me, I listen to podcasts every morning, and that keeps me really positive as well. So basically on the app this morning, my sister sent me a screenshot, right? It was about 10:30 in New Zealand when she sent me a screenshot. And there's 44,307 deaths around the world. I downloaded the app probably about an hour ago, and the deaths had climbed to 44,396 in just a matter of a couple of hours. So I couldn't believe it. I was actually quite surprised. I downloaded the app and it had jumped up around 90 people in deaths just in a couple of hours. So that kind of gives you, an idea of what's going on around the world, and it is frightening, but at the same time, we can't focus on that. We can't focus on the negative because it'll just get you down. Like, life still goes on, you know what I mean? And we've still got to make the most of, us living right now too, you know what I mean? So I just want to kind of end this by talking about some gratitude affirmations that you could think about every day, or what you could even think about today, that things that we can actually be grateful for, right? So basically the first one is the gift of health. And the gift of health is, we really need to appreciate that right now because of all these deaths, right? We aren't one of them, right? So we are the lucky ones right now. Hopefully if you're healthy and you're not sick and everything is good for you in your life right now, we have to appreciate that, because not only the people that have died, but all the other people around the world that are actually suffering or sick or have cancer or other diseases and illnesses, right? So if we're healthy, we have to really celebrate and appreciate that. Secondly, magical relationships. Because there's a lot of people out there in isolation right now that are lonely, that live alone, that have got nobody to talk to. If you're in a relationship or you've got relationships with family members or your children and you're in a household with other people, well, that's to be celebrated because we're lucky. We've got people to talk to every day, you know. It's easy to live in our own little bubble thinking that, you know, life goes on, the world goes on and everything's fine because we've all got people to talk to, right? But there's people out there that are alone, that have got nobody, you know. And some people may not even be that tech savvy and not even know how to get online and connect with people, you know. So we have to be really grateful for that. And thirdly, if you are surrounded if you are surrounded with like-minded people and you are involved in, you know, the coaching industry, the consulting industry, the network marketing, digital marketing, online marketing industry, where a lot of people do a lot of self-growth and personal development, we have to be really, really thankful and grateful for personal development, that we discovered that we follow a lot of people that help uplift us and empower us and inspire us, right? We have to be really grateful that we know about that industry, that we read all these amazing books and listen to these amazing podcasts. And there's so many people out there that don't know about this at all, you know what I mean? So we're so lucky that we actually can be surrounded by uplifting, empowering, and positive people, and that should be celebrated as well. So actually, what I was going to bring to show you, which I forgot, was the book called Magic, and it's one of the latest sequels from the book The Secret. I've just brought it, and it's all on gratitude, and that would be a really, really good book for everybody to read right now with what's going on. So if you can get yourself a copy of Magic, sequel to The Secret, get it, because it's got some really good affirmations in there that you can say every day. So now, if you're one of these people that are scrambling for ideas or how to work out how to connect with people or market or, connect with your customers, you need some social media tips, that sort of thing, feel free to reach out to me, connect with me, message me, and I can give you some tips too for what you can do right now, given the fact that we're all kind of in lockdown. So hope you enjoyed this video today. Hope you've got some good tips, and go ahead and get that book. And don't feel scared to put yourself out there and offer help to people, because there are people out there that are waiting to hear from somebody like you today. So go out there and make an impact. So thanks for watching. See ya.